It's Keith, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and dangerous places in all of Hunter x Hunter, the Dark Continent. Now this place is shrouded in mystery, danger, and intrigue, and it's one of the most fascinating aspects of the entire series. So grab your hunter's license and let's get right into it. So if you're mainly into the anime, you probably aren't even aware of what the Dark Continent is. So first things first, what exactly is the Dark Continent? Well, in simple terms, it's a massive, uncharted landmass located far beyond the known world of Hunter x Hunter, in an area that's so vast that it hasn't been fully explored, and the people who do make it to the Dark Continent don't often come back to give us information about the tales and things they discovered. I mean, it's a place of untold horrors, unknown species, and unimaginable power and danger, and yet it also holds incredible wealth and the secrets of the entire world that many desire to uncover. And just to give you some context, most of the creatures that the Dark Continent has to offer make even the Chimera ants seem insignificant in comparison. Now, the Dark Continent is first mentioned during the expedition arc in the manga, and this expedition was organized by the Kakin royal family, who hopes to colonize the continent and exploit its resources, since like I said, there is unimaginable wealth there. And guess what? The expedition does involve some of the most dangerous people in the world, including hunters, mercenaries, and even criminals. So we follow along with characters like as they're journeying on their way to this mysterious Dark Continent. Now, one of the most interesting figures associated with the Dark Continent is Beyond Netero. He's the son of the former Hunter Association chairman Isaac Netero, and Beyond is obsessed with the Dark Continent. I mean, he's been trying to mount an expedition to it for years, and his obsession with the unknown is super dangerous and is likely going to risk everything, even the lives of others, just to uncover the Dark Continent's secrets. The only reason Beyond hasn't gone recently is because travel to the Dark Continent was made strictly prohibited by his own father. But now that Isaac Netero's dead in the arc, Beyond can finally make his dreams come true and go back to the Dark Continent. Yes, Beyond has gone before, and their previous expedition left a lot of people dead, and we don't know too much about exactly what happened there, but he is one of the very few who has witnessed the Dark Continent and made their way back home, and it drove him crazy and insane, and he really wants to go back again, this time to explore further parts than anyone has ever gone before. Now, what's waiting on the Dark Continent? Well, we know it's home to some truly nightmarish creatures and environments. The Dark Continent's ecosystem is radically different from the known world. I mean, it has hostile, massive creatures that can easily wipe out an entire unprepared expedition. So it's so dangerous, and on one occasion, an expedition of 1,000 people arrived on the Dark Continent, and shortly after, only 7 people actually managed to return. And the dangerous part continues after you return, because after every expedition, a calamity is released on the rest of the world. I mentioned the Chimera ant, and it's revealed to us that they were actually brought over from the Dark Continent, and as dangerous as the Chimera ants are, there are 5 other major calamities that are capable of even more destruction. So let me list what those are and how dangerous they can be. Now, the first of the 5 threats of the Hunter x Hunter world is known as Pap, and Pap is a dark and fearsome entity that is dubbed as the human keeping beast. Now, we don't know exactly what it looks like, but essentially it lures in humans and prey, keeping them as pets and feeding off of them. And what makes it so dangerous is that while it's feeding and while it's even luring its victims, it makes them feel unimaginable sense of pleasure, to the point people are literally being killed and devoured by this creature, but are feeling the most happiest and joyous thoughts they've ever felt, making it essentially impossible for you to escape. And so far, it has a 100% mortality rate, and no one has actually escaped from this monster. And we don't even know what it's fully capable of. All we know is anyone who comes across it never makes it. Next up, we have Brion. Now, Brion is a threat that was actually brought back from the second Dark Continent expedition, and fans and audiences, we really don't know much about this. This is probably the one we know the least about. Its appearance has been revealed to be a human-looking body with an enormous sphere on top of its head, and alongside Brion, we have another calamity known as Zabai. Now, Zabai is also known as the immortality illness, and it is actually a disease that kills almost everyone who contracts it, and those who actually have encountered it, only one person has actually survived. Now, this survivor has now turned immortal, which might sound like a good thing, and this mortality came at the expense of his own mind and insanity. So he's quarantined in a lab since no one could come even close to him without fear of contracting the virus, as we see that he constantly feeds on his own flesh for survival, and it's truly insane. Now, the last 2 that I'm going to mention, we also kind of, like you can guess, don't know too much about these. However, one in particular we have seen before. Now the names of the two are Hellbell and High, and they're two of the most dangerous of the 5 threats from the Dark Continent. Although little is known about High in particular, both creatures seem to be pretty much tied to the dark side of human nature and are capable of manipulating human behavior. Hellbell presents itself as a 2-headed snake capable of infecting its prey with murderous intent, causing them to go on a rampage. Though whether it is a single being or a species is unknown at this point, so we're not sure if Hellbell is going to be multiple things or not. It is extremely dangerous, and those who have encountered it, only 1% has actually survived, which is just insane. And even less is known about High or I. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even really sure how to pronounce this name, but I will show it on the screen, so you guys tell me if I'm saying it right. I'm not sure. But this Dark Continent creature is really dangerous, but we've actually seen it before, believe it or not. It's also known as Nanika and is actually possessing the youngest Zodic child, and the Zodics themselves believe that it has wish-granting power that is infinite. And what makes this so dangerous is, think about it, it has the ability to pretty much grant any wish, which is of course why it's considered a calamity, because depending on what you wish or not, it could definitely destroy, or at least destroy parts of the entire world, or just create chaos on an infinite scale that is just unimaginable. So yeah, it's definitely one of the most dangerous of the bunch. But let's talk about the Dark Continent. And yes, it's super dangerous, but that's just a little bit of what we know about the horrors that actually lie there. So you may be wondering and asking yourself, why would anyone in their right mind even go there? Even though it's dangerous, it's also home to some of the most untold riches and great assets that are valuable, like the famous Nitero rice, which is said to heal all injuries and grant prolonged life to anyone who eats it, which may also explain how someone like Isaac Netero lived to become so old, since he has been to the Dark Continent before and has encountered this Nitero rice himself. And then you also have people like Beyond Netero, his son, who seek a challenge and glory above all else and are willing to put everything on the line to explore this dangerous land. So it's no surprise why this current expedition to the Dark Continent has all of the most powerful Nin users in the world going on this journey. And let's talk about Nin. Of course, no Hunter x Hunter discussion can be complete without mentioning Nin, but on the Dark Continent, even Nin doesn't seem to guarantee survival. Some of the creatures and hatches there literally defy the very principles of Nin itself, and it is an environment that constantly challenges even the most experienced of hunters and pushing the boundaries of what we know about Nin. But what's the true allure to the Dark Continent? What are the secrets it holds? From the ancient civilizations that are there to the powerful artifacts, we still really don't know the full extent of what actually lies there. And that's one of the things that makes it so exciting, is it's a place of endless possibility where anything could happen. Now, before we go, we have to talk about how we even know so much about the Dark Continent at this time. Now, other than the few expeditions that have already gone and taken this course, well, most of the world's knowledge actually comes from a man known as Don Freaks. And yep, you guessed it, he is actually the ancestor of Gone Freaks. Now, Don has actually written a novel called Journey to the New World. Now, the first volume of this novel was titled East and was actually written over 300 years ago. And it's rumored that Don Freaks is in fact still alive on the Dark Continent to this day, writing the second volume titled West. And he could of course be prolonging his life with something like Nitero rice, or maybe even something we don't know about, and he's still there living and writing out his journey, which is part of the reason why Gon's father Jing is on the current expedition to explore the Dark Continent, since he values all knowledge in the world, and this is really his dream of making it to the Dark Continent and exploring it. But we'll get to all that in another video. As for right now, that's today's deep dive into the Dark Continent. Now my question is, what do you think lies beyond the known world of Hunter x Hunter? What do you think we'll see in the Dark Continent, and what are some things that you're hoping that we'll see just in the future of this series? Now, it's no secret that the anime of course has already been ended and the manga is sporadic at best, but we've been getting a lot of new chapters recently and hopefully there's more to come. So go ahead and comment down below what you hope to see in this series, and also don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for more anime content like this. And until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.